So, Ashlynn, Peter, tell me a little bit about this project of yours. It sounds incredible.
Peter.
Well, it was a labor of love, so to say. It was challenging also doing it for the budget that we had, but we got through it, and it looks very good. Looks very good. We are very excited about it.
Yeah, so it was super exciting for me to be a part of this project because I'll just tell a little bit of the backstory of how I got involved in it. Is the film had already been cast. Like, Peter had already cast the movie, the lead actress. She had the script, she had done the table read, all these things. And then I think it was like a week or so before you guys started principal photography, she dropped out.
Oh,
right?
gosh.
3 days before we started.
3 days. So the director of photography is this guy, Lucas Patasi, who's incredible. And I had worked with Lucas earlier in the year on a short film. And so it's like late September, and I get this Instagram message from Lucas really late at night. It's like 10 p.m. at night. He's like, "Hey, what's your month of October look like?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'm open. What's going on?" And he goes, "I want to send you a script." He didn't tell me the title. He didn't tell me what character to look at. He didn't tell me what the story was about. He told me nothing. So I was just reading it like a novel, basically, just like, whoa, 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 and I didn't know, like, I was like, Sharon goes through so much. And I was like, wow, Cassandra, like these characters, like, I didn't know what he was having me look for. So I write him back and I'm like, dude, this is crazy. Like, this is going to be a really amazing showpiece for an actor. Like, this is so just like, this is a lot. It's just also, I didn't see the twist in it, when I was reading it, when the twist happens of their, Dante's Inferno, when they're in hell, I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. I was just like in it. Right. So then I write Lucas back. I read it really quickly. And he then was like, great, I'll put you in touch with the director. And I was like, wait, what? And so then the next day I had a phone conversation with Peter. You probably hear my daughter. I had a phone conversation with Peter and one of the other producers, Alexi. And I think Peter had like known about me from another project I had. We both had a film released by the same distribution company a few years ago. And so Peter was like, oh, I know who you are. And basically offered me the role. I never met him. I hadn't read for it. I was just like, okay. So he was kind of going off just this phone conversation. Also, Lucas, vouching for me that I could, do this role. And then I think it was like 2 days later, I met Peter in person in Santa Monica. We had coffee with Lucas and Alexi, and then I started filming. And it was, like, when you look back on it, it's like when you're in the trenches of making the feature, there's so many like things that happen, and it's like up and down. We had so many. That first week we had different locations. We were filming at this really beautiful, we were filming at Peter's house, but then we were also filming, in Topanga Canyon. And then Peter built the facility. Like, that's what the original title was too. He built the hallways. Like, that whole facility is built from the ground up from the mind of Peter Daskalash. And so it was just super cool to walk into a movie like this, just being handed it and then getting to just walk into it and do it. It was so fun. And it was the first project I did after I had my daughter. So for me, it was just as an actor, it was just so weighty and meaty to like grab onto a role that was just like, yeah, I can't wait. So it was so cool. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that I knew Ashlynn's work before because I was considering her for the role. She was one of the actresses which I was considering for the role, but the other one, which dropped out, had definitely like a bigger name, and
she's famous.
Yeah, in this business, like, name is a lot.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't really think twice. As soon as I learned that Ashlynn was available, I go, okay, she's on board. That's it. So it was not like a shot in the dark. I was very familiar with her work. I watched, without letting her know, I watched her movies, all the movies which were available. So
He did his homework. Yeah.
and it turned out to be a great collaboration, and it was also a beginning of a good friendship.
It is. I honestly, like, I'm so thankful for Peter because he gave me my first producer credit on the movie, which was really exciting. And then I've got to help him work on some other projects he has coming up. So behind this, like on the other side of it, not acting. And so it's been such an awesome relationship for me that I got to just work with Peter, who I have this great rapport with as an actor, but also just a great friend, so.
That's incredible. And how would you
Yeah.
describe your role, Ashlynn?
Oh my God, the role of Sharon. It's so interesting because when I started, breaking her down, and again, I didn't have like a ton of time to prepare, but, and I remember asking Peter lots of questions about, these people who are all kind of bad people. Like they've done really horrible things in their life. And they all were seeking redemption. And, I don't think Sharon's a bad person per se, but she's done some questionable things. And so it's just really putting myself like into the shoes of somebody who could behave in that way, like getting so angry at someone that you slash them, like grab a weapon. That was such a trippy thing for me to have to prepare for, because I was like, I can't imagine doing that. But she was wild, she's a wildcat, or she was, and then she's now this different person. So you see these very different sides of her in the film, which is, it was really fun as an actress to play both those roles, because I'm seemingly the sweet wife who's harboring secrets, but then also you go back to flashbacks and it's like, whoa, this girl has a dark, seedy past. And so I personally don't have that. And so it's like, but I know people who do. And so it's really cool that, I got to do both of those in one movie. And a fun little side note about the film is, the scenes between Sharon and Costas that are where, they're in the church and he's the detective and he's, questioning her and all those things about the death of Nico. Those were all added later. And that was decided by Peter after, he'd done a rough cut of the film. You needed to care more about like why she was there and why she needed to get out, because it needed more of that relationship. And now knowing that it's there, if we hadn't have filmed that, I don't think the movie would be as great as it is. So just my opinion. So.
Well, this was a great lesson, because when I watched the rough cut of the film, once we finished it, and at some point I realized that the film doesn't have a relationship. It has a lot of story, a lot of plot, a lot of things happening, but there is no relationship. And if there is no relationship in a film, it kind of comes out flat. Although you have a lot of plot, a lot of things, jump scares and whatnot, suspense, but you need a relationship. I mean, I would say every film should have a relationship in order to stand on its own legs. Otherwise, it's kind of just you're showing people things happening, but nobody really cares.
Yeah.
So then we had to write up a relationship and kind of stitch it into the film, and actually it turned out very good.
Yeah, it was really great. Like Peter sent like I think it was like 13 new pages, and it was like in January, and we finished filming in the beginning of November. And I was like, oh wow, we're just like opening up this Pandora's box of like history. And it was really cool to then see that finally weaved into the narrative, and suddenly it changed the movie, changed it, and it's
Yeah,
great.
all of a sudden it had another dimension, and we were lucky. We finished this second round. I mean, it was a small shoot, like 6 days.
Mhm.
We shot an additional 6 days just before the pandemic started.
Yeah,
February. We just wrapped it up, and then 3 days later, the world
the
started.
world ended. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. Was this film pre or during the pandemic? But yeah, what about the editing? Was that done during the pandemic too, or?
Oh yeah, it was done. We finished, basically we finished the film technically. The film was finished in July last year. But since then, we were looking for distribution and so forth. So then we got the distributor. Then he decided to. He's a very experienced in court entertainment, the company, and so they decided to open the film in May this year. So it is like a year basically after we finished the film.
Nice. I'm so excited for it. And what are your next projects, Ashlynn? I know you have a Lifetime movie coming out on Sunday. Tell us a little bit about that.
So it's directed and written by John Merlowski, and John does a bunch of Lifetime TV movies. And I love working with the writer-director combos. They're honestly my favorite people to work with because they understand completely what they want to do. They understand where the film wants to go. And also John, like Peter, he could shoot the entire movie himself if he wanted to. Peter's not telling me that, but Peter is like a, unicorn, where Peter comes up with these amazing, like, antidote. The whole film is inside of this man's head. Peter could also, do every job if he wanted to on set. He just hires other people to do it. So, but Peter has a very clear vision. And so John's the same way. So I shot that movie. Actually, I shot that during the pandemic. Again, those are Lifetime movies, so they're much quicker. I shot this last year in September, and we had a COVID scare on set.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was the guy playing my husband. I can out him now because it was a false negative or false positive. We had to be, it was like you get nasal swabs like before, and then we started filming, and then next day, lab comes to set, swabs our noses, and then they're like, halt production. Someone has COVID.
Oh no.
And then they kept him upstairs, made all of us leave the house. It cost a week and a half of production, which we know making films, it sucks because they lost the location. The people that we were renting the house from in Calabasas, they were coming back from, it was like this whole big thing. But anyway, so John Merlowski wrote and directed this piece, and it's called Burning Little Lies. Such a Lifetime name. I love it so much.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And the film stars Annika Foster and then Jamie Roy, and Annika plays the lead, and then I play her sister. And it's all about, our parents pass away. She comes back to town and falls in love with the fireman. I'm super suspicious, or am I the one who lit the fire? It's like, who lit the fire and who burned the house down, basically is what the story is about. And then you discover who did it. So I could be the villain. I can't say if I'm the villain or not, but most people know on Lifetime, I'm usually the villain. So, and it's very fun. It's very Lifetime-y. It's, it's got some great special effects in it with the burning down of the house. And then, so it comes out on May 9th. And then later this summer, I'm going to film my first paranormal horror film, which I'm super excited about because I haven't done paranormal yet. And it's called They Watch. And again, that's a writer-director combo. Doug Henderson is the writer-director, and he's based in York, Pennsylvania. And so that's where we'll be filming for 5 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. What about you, Peter? What are you working on next?
Oh, well, I'm gonna be doing a short film. Now it's gonna happen sometimes by the end of May. I should have it done, and then I'm planning to do one in about October, November, in the fall. and it is about a little girl. She should be probably about 16 or something of age. And she is in a psychiatric ward because she has some issues. Her parents had died in a car crash earlier when she was a child. And since then, she's talking to them on her cell phone. But she thinks only she's talking to them, but nobody else really buys that. It's her well, this is her psychological issue. Of course, you cannot talk to the dead, but she's talking to them, and this is her handicap, and that's why she's in a psychiatric ward, because she's unfit to live in the real world. She's just talking to her parents all the time on her flip phone. And then I'm not gonna go into the ending, how it ends, but this is the hook.
I cannot wait. I'm really excited. Now, before I let you guys go, tell me where we can follow you on social media.
You can follow me on Instagram, Ashlynn_Yenny. I'm pretty, frequent on there. And then Antidote Movie is on Instagram as well. And we have some really fun stuff coming out before the release. Peter has so lovingly given over some really good little teasers, which super excited to share those soon. So it's Antidote_Movie. And then on that, you can literally see all the other actors that are in it. There's, Augie Duke and Yorgos. So there's everybody. So you can follow everybody. So,
yeah, I just got another two short teasers with Louis, our villain, the lead.
Yeah.
The lead man.
Yeah, send them.
Bad doctor. So yeah, I just got them last night. So if you want some really short teasers, like 10, 15 seconds or 20 seconds for your publication, I can give them to you.
I would love that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you both, and I can't wait to talk to you again soon.
Yeah, it was so nice chatting with you again.
Likewise. It was great to meet you too, Peter.
All right, and how do I get to you the teasers? Do I have an email or something?
I'll message you the email as soon as we get off.
Oh, okay. Send me your email so I can send you a link and you can download them everything from Vimeo.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.